Okay guys, welcome back to a quick Unity tutorial with me, Dr. H. Today we're running a new Unity project. I'm going to show you how to create a simple collection game called Losing My Marbles. So let's get stuck in. You can see here I'm creating a new Unity project. I'm going to call it Losing My Marbles. And I'm not going to import any packages just yet. So the premise of the game is simple. The player has lost their marbles. Each marble is a memory. When you collect the marble, it gives the player some kind of backstory of the player that they've forgotten. They're getting their memory back. Marbles are not just going to be left lying around, they're going to be behind barriers. For example, doors and walls. And these doors and walls are going to be openable if you've collected enough coins. So one of the first things I've done is I've put the scripts together for you. If you're one of my students, you can find these in the shared resources under Marble Game Assets. Just download the whole folder. If you're not one of my students, then I've put them on my website here in Word format. You can copy and paste them into new scripts that you create in Unity. The link for that is in the description. So I've got a completely empty screen here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a simple collection game called Losing My Marbles. I'm going to create a 3D object. I'm going to create a plane. That's going to be my floor. I'm very quickly going to make that 5 by 5 by 5. And I'm going to import a player controller so that we can move around. Just very quickly going to go standard assets, characters, first person, prefabs, and drag the FPS controller into the scene and just lift them up so the butt's not sticking through the floor. Save the scene really quickly. This is going to be important later on. I'm going to call mine Dr. H, all one word, lowercase. If I go back into my main assets folder, you can see Dr. H saved there. We're going to need this file name later on. The next thing I'm going to do is bring in all of my scripts in the download package, and I'm going to bring in a few other things as well. I'm going to bring in this little ding, and I'm very quickly going to drag in this audio file here, which is going to be one of my memories. This is memory file 1. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to show you now is how to hook up all of the different scripts and get them to do what we need them to do. The most important script is the GM script. This is the Games Master script. It coordinates what everything else does, the scoring system, restarting, everything, okay? So I'm going to just drag the GM script onto my FPS controller and have a quick look at it over here in the inspector. If I scroll down in the inspector, I can see my GM script down here. For now, I'm not going to touch anything else that's on here. I'm just checking it's on my FPS controller. We're going to come back to this in a later tutorial. The script I want us to focus on is the coin collection script, collect coin. So to make a coin, I'm going to go into the cylinder here. I'm going to squish it down flat. I'm going to lift it up, move it back here, and then finally I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to rotate it in one of the two axes. Just going to make sure that it goes exactly 90 degrees. And it's the coin, I'm just going to rename it coin. It's the coin that I intend to work with first. So I'm going to take the coin collection script and I'm going to drag it up onto the coin right here. I can then see in the inspector there are several things that have appeared. The first one are these rotation axes. Now I'm not entirely sure which way I've turned it. I think I'm going to want to turn this through the x-axis. So I'm going to change the x-axis to 15 and this is going to spin the coin round when I push play to test it. So there's the coin. You can see it's spinning around. It's spinning around a little fast for me. I'm going to drop that down to maybe 5 instead of 15. 5, save, and then go back into test mode. And have a little look, and there's my coin spinning around nice and happily. What I want to happen is when my player, and I'm just going to move my player back and turn them around a little bit so that they start off facing the coin. I can always check what they can see by clicking on that. What I want to happen is that when my player walks into my coin, they're going to collect it. Now at the moment, if I walk up to my coin, it's solid. I bounce off the edge. So I skip back out of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to its collider here, and I'm going to make this collider a trigger. And that trigger is going to trigger a game event. And the particular game event it's going to trigger is it's going to collect the coin, it's going to add one to my score, and it's going to make a little ding sound like this. So, in order to make all of that happen, I'm going to go down to my script here, and I'm just going to check the audio enabled box. This is to make it go ding. I'm going to check the audio enabled box. I'm then going to drag my ding sound effect. You can use any sound effect as long as it's about half a second long. I'm going to drag it into the audio clip box down here, ding. If I quickly go in and test that, you'll see it doesn't work. Dragging ding onto the game object, the coin, isn't enough. More than just attaching it to the script, I actually need to put it on the object itself. This makes it an audio source. You can see this little speaker that's appeared in the center of it here. It's now an audio source that's going to play ding. If I push play to test that, sure enough, it is playing ding, but it's playing it right at the start. I don't want it to do that. I only want it to play ding when I collect it. So once I've dragged the audio source on, I just need to decheck play on awake. If I walk up to the object now, it doesn't go ding straight away, but it still won't collect it. There's one more important thing I need to do. If you have a quick look at the script, in the script section here, it says if the game object is tagged player, do all of this stuff. I'm just going to go back to my FPS controller, come over here to the top of the inspector. Underneath the name FPS controller, they're not tagged as anything. I'm going to tag them as player. Now if I push play and go and collect the coin, it collects it, it dings, and you'll notice it's even added 1 to my score of coins up there. So that concludes the first tutorial, assigning the GM script to the FPS controller and putting the coin collection script on the coin and making it spin and go ding by using an audio source that does not have play on awake checked.